Hello and welcome back to Fair City Gaming. I'm your host Kev, and we're back with some more Dark Souls. So continuing on from the last video, we're going to try and wrap up some more of the...
You sorry fool. You could not be the chosen one. Enough.
We'll leave him. He's just in a huff because we spoke to the other one. So there's a couple of covenants that we missed, mostly because they're hidden away off to the side. Other than that, I think there's just a couple of bosses that we've left to kill as well. Nope. You never want to try these jumps without being at full health at this level. Now we don't actually need to fight that dude, but behind him was this item here, and if you have that, you can interact with this coffin. If you lie here for a few seconds, you'll get a cutscene. But the cutscene will only play if you've got the Eyes of Death in your inventory. You get them as rare drops from the basilisk enemies as well, so you don't have to get them from here. Unfortunately, we are not going to be able to actually join this covenant because we've already killed the leader. Hello. Right away, you're probably going to recognize this room. There it is. So this is the Covenant of the Grave Lord. Unfortunately, we can't interact with it because the Grave Lord is dead. So that's that for there. So we visited here briefly before as well, and I'd mentioned that you needed an item access there. No. Abracadabra. You don't need to keep it equipped once you've activated it once. We're going to need that.
Halt! This is the tomb of the great Lord Gwyn. Tarnished it shall not be by the feet of men. If thou art a true disciple of the Dark Sun, cast aside thine ire. Hear the voice of mine self, Gwendolyn, and kneel before me.
So you can choose to kneel here and you can join his covenant. Or you can just be a heretic and bundle right on in there.
What foolishness! Why trespasseth upon the great Lord's tomb, whilst thou art a disciple of the Dark Sun?
But I am not.
Mark the words of mine self, Gwendolyn. Thou shalt not go unpunished.
One of the more unique fights in the series. Now, it looks like an endless corridor, but it does actually end eventually. Yeah, you really want to serpentine down this corridor as well. And those smaller ones can be blocked by the pillars, but the big one cannot. That thing will just go right through the pillars. So don't think you can hide behind that indefinitely. Ah, so tedious. Nearly. Damn it. Whew.
Oh, heretic, swathed in dark,
Go away with that.
an eternal curse upon thee.
Now, you don't actually have to kill him, you can run all the way to the end. It serves no purpose. I've never even bothered to try. If you're seeking all the miracles and all the items in the game, though, you will need to kill him. By killing him, you will also turn the Firekeeper that was at the top of Anor Londo hostile, as she was a Blade of the Dark Moon, and that's her armor set. Sheer laziness. So we'll go and say hi to our friend. She's not a complete pushover. She can parry you. She can't parry fire.
This man is a threat, Master Gwendolyn.
Yeah. So now that really only leaves revenge on the Black Knights that kept killing us from before. So I think we'll go and take care of them. So that was one at the Sunlight Altar. I think it was episode 3 that we decided to try and take on those dudes, and it went terribly. Ah. I forgot to mention that off camera I went and maxed out my reinforced club to plus 15. So we're seeing a much better damage output on that now. Yep. And the other one is at the bottom of Dark Root. We'll stick a summon sign down, just in case. One of the few areas that will maybe get some co-ops as we're playing level 1. Stop that. Really dicing with death here. There we go. Ah well. So after we go and defeat this Dark Knight, I'm actually going to go down into the Valley of the Drakes, because there's a ring down there that I forgot to go and get. And then that leaves 2 bosses left in the main game. Outside of the final boss, that is. So we'll need to go to the Depths and the Painted World. I'm hoping to try and get that all done in this one video. Purely because it's a pain in the ass to get back here. More rest. I also think this will give us a sneak attack Oh. Should activate the elevator while I was running. Where is he? I didn't know he patrolled. Oh. What's going on? So the Valley of the Drakes is entirely optional. Kinda pointless. But it does have one of the coolest rings in the game. That's what we're going down here for. Pro tip, send the elevator back up. Now, we don't have to fight them, but I'm going to try to at first. Get away from the edge. Their breath has a ridiculous range on it. Your best bet is to get in close and fight them. Ah, son of a bitch. The main reason someone would fight them would be that they're trying to level up the Path of the Dragon Covenant, which is the one we found down in Ash Lake. They level that up by gaining dragon scales, which are unsurprisingly dropped by the dragons. So let's try the no guts, no glory approach. The red tearstone ring is used by a lot of people if they're doing like boss challenges and such, because it grants you extra damage if you're close to death. On soul level 1 it's quite handy as well, because you're generally never more than 1 or 2 hits away from death anyway, so you generally don't want to get hit. Very high risk reward though. You can combine it nicely with Power Within as well. Oh, actually I want to go human. So again, unlikely that we'll get any firm co-op because we're at level 1. So being human again makes us susceptible to invasions, but unlikely. The main reason we've come down here though is to finish one of the other quests. I'd actually forgotten all about it. Why is it not triggering? There it is. Our old friend Kirk. That is the third and final time that we'll see him. It's actually technically the first time you're likely to see him. Most people will fight him in the depths. After we've completed this area, I will show you where you can find his armor set. Oh, don't want to fight the boss yet. Now, the boss of this area, like many, is not actually terribly difficult, but does have a nasty gimmick in that there is an enemy in the area around here who can attack you from a balcony that he's resting on, and it is infuriating. So we best go and deal with him. Watch out for the traps. There. And that's the end of that. Again, watch out for the trap on the floor. It's very easy to get lost in this area. There's very few bits you actually need to visit. I mean, you don't need to fight him at all to fight the boss. But why make it more difficult on yourself than you have to? Now, if you don't have the master key, this is actually the location you'll need to come to access the depths. And the boss down here is where you'll get the key. But we've got the master key, so, you know, not required. Well, hello. Almost telling you what it needs you to do. So if you have a phantom here, you can actually summon him and leave him up here. He can pelt the boss. But why would you do that? Where's the fun in that? Such a cool looking boss. The boss looks really intimidating. It's really quite a push one. Oh god. Come on. Head takes extra damage. Christ, Cinder, what are you playing at? That's a little annoying. No sunlight for us. But it's fine. Now you'd be forgiven for thinking there'd be something else cool down here, but there's actually nothing worthwhile. Easy boss. Cool looking. Wrong way. And there it is. Kirk's Armour of Thorns. And it said there that he was a Dark Wraith. Yet he was here, and down in the Demon Ruins, closely associated with the Chaos Covenant. So many people believe that he was in fact working with the Chaos Covenant and giving Fair Lady his humanity that he took from other worlds. Who's to say? Right. Not really gonna help us there. Alrighty. Oh, I forgot to show that there's an invader down here when I was in here before, actually. Guess we'll come take care of him then. Bloody hollows. Acid Surge is used to break the equipment of whoever you hit with it. It's no use against NPCs or anything like that. It's annoying if you use it against another human player though. Jeremiah here is a powerful pyromancer. Don't let him get a chance to use any of that on you. So last time we were here, we just used the shortcut to drop down on this walkway. So these enemies weren't here. Including this big dude. Nope. he respawns and he's guaranteed to drop that large shard every time. It's not exactly efficient farming though. Oh, the tail. Should have used power within. Damn it.
I expected as much from the what?
So who doesn't love a little bit of invisibility? There she is. So if you try and tag her with a couple of daggers, you can see her, but you can also see her by her footprints in the ground. Such a frustrating boss. Lost it again. Where are you? There you are. There she is. Managed to dodge her every time when she's invisible. First time she's visible, she hits me. That's what we were looking for. Tail's just flopping about there. Sorry, fluffy princess. Now that she's dead, I'm sure we're allowed to teleport out of here using the bonfire, whereas before we weren't actually. Damn it. That's really annoying. Got killed. Dare we try and just run past these guys? We do. Piece of piss. I was gonna say, don't think he'll follow me in here. I don't think he can. If you kill Jeremiah once he invades you, his armor set drops there. And we're back. This is the annoying bit. If I use a homeward bone here, I think it takes me to the upper Anne Orlando bonfire, and we can't use that because we killed the firekeeper. Oh. Now these guys can backstab you, so really you don't want them chasing you. But I'm not in the mood for the shenanigans. It's alright. Go on then. Now a lot of people will go and kill the Chaos Witch that you have the Covenant with for her Firekeeper soul and cash that in now as well. But as a soul level 1 character, there's no benefit to us to do that, so I don't bother. That'll do.
You sorry?
Silence worm. Okay. Now on to the killing of the first flame. No use using that, the enemies spot you anyway. See how much of a difference it makes. So this is the only area in the game that has the Black Knights that respawn. So you can farm them for their drops. But 2 of them also drop the Titanite chunks that you use for upgrading through the standard path. And I'm pretty sure that's a guaranteed drop every time. So it's a good place to get their weapon and their shield. Their armour is located just a little further on in here as well. Despite the fact that we've upgraded all of our armour and everything for this area, these guys will still destroy you in 1 to 2 hits. They're absolute monsters. This one is difficult, but only because of the location you fight them on. It's unusual to have not had a single drop from one of them. They're usually quite good. And there you go. Saving Solaire and Lost Izalith is the only way to be able to summon them for this fight. Ooh, pretty. If you stand in just the right spot here, you'll do that every time. So you miss out on the chunk that he drops, but it's a white one I think it is. Unless you're leveling up the divine weapon path, it's no use to you. Of course you could get his axe from him. That's no use to us. So I could just take his aggro for a second. Bail out. Okay. Yeah, the other one drops the white one, that's what it was. And a Black Knight halberd. That'll break the game using that weapon. Right. Now Gwyn is unique in that he's the only boss that you can parry in Dark Souls. Jesus. Don't want to get caught by that grab attack. He stole my kill! And that is that. So you're now presented with the choice. You can link the fire, continue the cycle once again, or you can break the cycle and leave without linking the fire. Gwyn and his daughter and Kingseeker Frampt all told us that we must continue the Age of Fire. But we find out through Darkstalker Kath that it's the linking of the fire is what caused the undead curse, and that it's against the natural order. So that's the decision to make. So we'll break the cycle.
My lord, bless thy safe return. Let Kath and Frampt serve your highness. We are here to serve your highness. Let true dark be cast upon the world. Our Lord hath returned.
And that is it for Dark Souls. So thank you very much for joining us on this journey. It's been fun as always. It's definitely one of my favourite games to play. It's a good challenge playing through it on level 1. There's some bullshitty moments, but still incredibly fun game.
Yes, indeed.
And then it starts
The
all over
dark
again.
sign brands the undead.
But you get to keep all your equipment. Except keys. So let's see how much of a difference it makes. Fighting that boss from the beginning of the game. Right, let's go all in. Oh, the damage he does though. Oh. Rolled right into it. So just like if you, when you fight him the first time, if you do defeat him in the original confrontation, he drops the Demon's Great Hammer, which is an absolute monster of a weapon. But we can't use it. So I'll get us back to Firelink and I'll wrap it up there. Open up the shortcut. Hello, Oscar.
Oh, I'm done. I wish you...
I will always listen to your story.
No, when that will not... Now I would hate...
So if you defeat the demon in the initial encounter, he doesn't drop the key. But if you run away and then come back and fight him, he drops the key. So you always have to go down that side path anyway. And that's us back home. So once again, thank you very much for joining me. It's been great doing this, and hopefully I'll see you again in another video. So I've been Kev, this has been Fair City Gaming, and we'll catch you next time.